Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Clear here with a EDC video for you. Actually, this will kind of be a combination of an EDC update and considerations for seasonal changes in your EDC. So I want to ask this question to kind of get us started. If you live in a place where the seasons change, do you change your EDC with that? If you do, what kind of changes do you normally make? For me, okay, it generally is about volume, okay? Because I'm always wearing a coat, I can increase the amount of stuff I carry. And the way I actually do it is to build in some redundancy. All right, so I'll tell you kind of my system first, then I'll show you what I carry, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. But my system is to take the things that I use regularly, so I have like 2, maybe 3 coats that I wear frequently. Okay, one's a little nicer that I might wear if I'm going out on a date or going to church. One is my sort of regular everyday coat, and then one is a lighter coat for those days where we've had a really mild winter, so sometimes the heavy tough duck coat is too much. So I've got those 3 coats, and what I do is in the pockets I've got some redundancy, okay? I've got a lighter in every one. I've got a flashlight in every one. I've got mitts or gloves, usually all of these thin carpenter's gloves in every one, and I've got a hat in every one. So that way I know I've got at least a couple of things in all of my coats no matter what. In addition, I have what's already on my person, which is going to be knife, another flashlight, another fire source, a multi-tool, okay, pry tool, stuff like that. So now that you kind of know, my system involves adding the coat to what I'm doing. And primarily in that coat setup, I make sure that I've got a hat and a pair of gloves. And I can't tell you, I'm going to add one more element to this right now. I can't tell you how many times these have saved my life, okay? I've gone places. The other day, someone said, hey, could you give me a lift? I've got some wood that I want to run through, the table saw. Could you come over and help me? There's just big pieces of wood. I said, sure. Well, I didn't realize we were working outside, so I threw my coat on, went over, and guess what? When I got there, he had everything set up outside, and it was really cold. So guess what? I was extremely thankful for the coat, the hat and the gloves. And that can be even more important. Let's say you have a breakdown by the side of the road. You know, if it's 30 below and you're going to change a tire with your bare hands and all those metal tools, good luck. You know, you're going to freeze your fingers and you're going to get to the point where dexterity becomes an issue. Okay, I think in addition to just a practical warmth standpoint, comfort standpoint, there's a safety and practical feature as well. So because of that, I also make sure that in the car, and I also have a bag. So I have a bag inside and I have outside in the car a permanent spot for hat, mitts, and socks for my whole family. Okay, so I know if we got stuck by the side of the road, if we had to walk a long distance, even if my son was dressed up in one of his silly hero costumes that isn't very warm, I would have some stuff with me that I could improve, all of our situation. Now, the other thing I do is I wear footwear that's appropriate all the time. My wife doesn't always. Sometimes she just wears running shoes even if it's cold out, so that's why I've got the extra pair of socks. At least she can have another layer. Anyway, so I have all of that stuff in the car in addition to sort of my winter safety stuff, okay? Now, I also have a bag like that in the house. And that's in case sometimes we'll go places together with another family in a different vehicle. On those occasions, I just grab a bag, and it's just one of those, long-term grocery bags. And in the bag, I've got the same thing: hat, mitts, just extra warm stuff for everybody in the family in case we ever got stranded or had to walk or needed some more protection from the warmth than what we currently, or more protection from the cold than what we currently have. Okay, so this stuff is a big part of my winter EDC. The other thing that I want to point out is a big part is a flashlight. All right, I've got this little flashlight on me today in my pocket. This one goes in my coat. I've taken it out, so as soon as I'm done this video, I'll go right back and put it in so I don't forget about it. This is the UltraTac K18. Really, really good little flashlight. It's actually brighter than my TI3, the ThruNite TI3, which is also a great light. Same size though, so this is a great option, like 20 bucks. I've been carrying it for quite a long time. I will say this: you've got to make sure that you orient the clip if you orient the clip this way, it's not so bad. If you orient it the other way so that the button is right against your skin, what I found myself doing was I'd bend my leg or I'd sit down and I would turn the stupid light on. All you have to do is make sure that you orient the clip so that when the light is in your pocket, the button is to the side. So if this is your body, the button is facing this way. See how it's over here? And that way you can't accidentally turn it on. So anyway, a little beside the point, but that's the other main part of a winter EDC in Canada, at least where I am. The days are considerably shorter, so there's a lot of darkness. If you're doing anything outside, even if it's 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, it's dark already. Okay, and it was worse. We're at the end of January, the middle of December, and the end of December. The middle of December, the end of December, and the beginning of January, it was really bad. Like 4:30, it's pitch black. So because of that, a light is of more importance. In addition to that, I carry an extra lighter as well. All the coats have a lighter, and that's because guess what? If you are outside for any length of time in the winter, you're going to need a fire. Okay, so extra lighter I think is worth carrying so that I've got some redundancy. Yes, in my EDC pouch, I am still using the Skint Solutions EDC pouch. I love this thing. It's really, really versatile. In here I have a bunch of cards that rarely get used, library cards, stuff like that. I've got a multi-tool, I've got a flashlight. I've got I got a lighter, let's be straight, a whistle, and an extra key. So that's what I always carry. This is really more helpful in the summertime, but in the winter it's nice because I almost always can wear a belt. Okay, in the summer sometimes you may wear clothes that don't suit a belt very well or aren't set up for one. In the winter you're pretty much always going to wear jeans or cargo pants or something like that, right? So that's how that part of the EDC goes. So all I've done is really added some extra utility and some extra redundancy for those winter months where if you need it, you really, really need it. Now I'll do the same thing in the spring and fall with my spring coat or my fall coat. I'll put those things like a pair of gloves, an extra flashlight, an extra lighter in the pocket of those coats. Literally, I'll just take the stuff out of my winter coat, put it in my fall coat because that's what I'm wearing now, or a spring coat, let's say. In addition to that, I do always carry a knife. Now, my EDC today is the Riate Torrent. This is an awesome knife, guys. Very, very impressed. For those of you who have asked, the review is coming up. Expect it to be fairly positive. I think this is really, really well done. Maybe a little heavy for some people, but very, very impressive. So the reason I'm going to bring this out is because it's a little heavier. Okay, and again, in the winter, that extra weight is not that big of a deal. If you're wearing a t-shirt and a thin pair of shorts, yeah, you may notice a knife that's like this weight. Or I've got one other I can show you that's really hefty for its size. This is the CRKT Hijinks. Very heavy, small knife. It doesn't bother me at all in a pair of jeans, but in a light pair of shorts, this would probably be a huge pain in the neck, okay? So, that's the other element of my winter carry. I usually carry a larger knife because of the fact that you're just a little more comfortable with the jeans or cargo pants or whatever. Okay, so that's pretty well covers my winter EDC. That's all the stuff I have on me, except for one major thing that I don't have here, and that's my cell phone. In the winter, I'm a little more aware of the charge of my cell phone. Okay, because you guys know if you do get stranded on the side of the road, if you do break down somewhere, if you need some kind of help, if you're out in the bush, even hiking with the kids or the family, and you need help, you really need help in the winter. Okay, so I do carry an extra charge. It's just it holds an electrical. It holds enough charge to recharge your phone one time. I do carry that as a backup in the winter, and obviously make sure I'm just that much more diligent to be sure that I'm not going out and my phone only has 5% battery left or something. Okay, so there you go. That's my winter carry. Sorry I didn't have the phone to show you. I left it in the other room so that if it rang, it wouldn't interrupt the video. So there you go. That's what I do in the winter. That's how it changes. Primarily, the things that change are redundancy. You know, things that I feel like you really, really, really want. I'm going to make sure I've got 2 of them, and I'm going to make sure that for comfort and convenience, but also for safety and practicality, I'm carrying extra warm stuff for myself, but also for my family. All right, would love to hear if your EDC changes in the winter. Likely it does for most of you if you live in Canada or even in, you know, a lot of the northern part of the US. And if you don't, that's fine too. Go ahead and tell us if you change your EDC for some other reason, okay? Maybe you change it when you're in school versus out of school, when you're working at certain job sites versus not. Do you guys have a variation in your EDC like I do? Or has it been the same for the last 100 years? That's it, guys. We'll talk to you later.